Rstv, bring you the news as it is.
President Tinubu holds Shatima, 23 governors, vows to intensify efforts against insecurity. Federal government approves expansion of Bodo-Boni Road to link East-West Road. And Inspector General of Police Disu orders reduction of police tactical teams. Good afternoon, it's News at 3. I am Catherine Ago. Rivers State is the treasure base of the nation. Let's build and take it to greater heights. It is a task we must accomplish. You can watch our news live on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at RSTVPH. You can subscribe and click on the notification bell for updates on our live feeds. Details of the news. Tax payment is a major source of generating income for development of the 3 tiers of government. To this end, the Business Day Media Limited collaborated with Rivers State Internal Revenue Service to organize a breakfast meeting tagged Leveraging Nigeria's Tax Laws to Enhance Profitability. The breakfast meeting held at the Chinese Hall of the Hotel Presidential was to broker a way forward to harmonize taxes for the growth of business in the state. Melvin Jackson reports.
In an opening address, General Manager, Business Development and Partnership, Business Day, Patrick Ijegbai, noted that the event aimed at educating business owners on how to maximize profit under the new tax laws, which took effect from January 1st, 2026, stating that the forum helps to engage, inform, and ensure that tax reforms remains a continuous process.
So the advantages of this meeting, and decided to partner with us to begin conversations around tax issues in the need of affect citizens, residents, and businesses in the past.
In a keynote address, Executive Chairman, Rivers State Internal Revenue Service, Israel Egbunefu, emphasized the importance of effective tax administration in driving business growth and profitability. He enumerated measures to tackle tax evasion, to include utilizing employers as tax agents for payee collection and cracking down on fake revenue collectors. The Executive Chairman also highlighted Rivers State Internal Revenue Service efforts to streamline tax payment processes through digitalization and exempting individuals earning below 800,000.
Achieving this requires continuous collaboration among government institutions, the private sector, and the media. We therefore commend Business Day on this valuable initiative and look forward to a productive partnership that will deepen taxpayer awareness, strengthen voluntary compliance, and promote fiscal responsibility. Together, we can build a tax system that supports development, empowers businesses, and secures prosperity for future generations.
Dean, Faculty of Administration and Management, Rivers State University, Professor John Oaka, while speaking on the theme, Leveraging Nigeria's Tax Laws to Enhance Profitability, said, taxation remains one of the most significant instruments available to government for mobilizing revenue, redistributing income, and stimulating economic growth. Professor Haka stated that tax system in Nigeria is not designed only to generate public revenue, but also to create incentives, encourage investment, entrepreneurship, and corporate profitability, defining tax as the lifeblood of economic growth, driving development and social prosperity, adding that if tax revenue is efficiently and effectively utilized, it can promote the social.
And without that, to can find it. So it is advisable for all of us to do what? Pay tax. Before, that's why we call taxation remains one of the most significant policy instruments available to government for mobilizing what? Revenue, redistribution, income. Redistributing income and stimulating economic growth.
During a panel discussion, some participants who thanked organizers of the event advocated domestication of tax laws to reorientate and train local tax enforcement and finding a means to curb illegal tax operators, translate into various local languages for enlightenment, judicious utilization of taxes collected, amongst others, while call lines should be made public for taxpayers to call when suspicious moves are detected.
Some of them don't understand that tax is actually good for us if we're looking for national development. That's why I wish the gentleman that spoke last will organize small business seminar for these people, maybe supported by the government or the university, to tell them that the money they make can be enhanced by all those things you presented. Without that knowledge, they'll be eating into their foods and there will be no development.
Tax collectors and multiple tax collectors. The last concept is who protects the taxpayer. If I am to pay tax, somebody should protect me such that after I have paid tax and any hoodlum walks into my business space or my personal space to mention tax or levy, I should be able to get protection.
Melvin Jackson, Rstv News.
A fortnight ago, the world celebrated Consumer Rights Day, specifically set aside for the enlightenment of patrons of products on their rights. Ogboka Omeda in this report examines the significance of the day, challenges encountered by service providers and consumers, and better ways.
World Consumer Rights Day, observed on March 15, is significant as it raises awareness about consumer rights and responsibilities, pushes for fair treatment and protection of consumers globally, as well as highlights issues like data privacy, online scams, and unfair practices.
It's a worldwide event, usually taken charge by the Consumer International. And it's a day that has been brought out by the entire world to celebrate the consumer. Because in the chain of production, distribution, and consumption, the consumer do not have representation.
Mr. John Nwokwori Egwe, a social commentator who spoke on the significance of the day, called for promotion of a fair and transparent marketplace and the empowerment of consumers with knowledge and advocacy.
It is a day to recognize the importance of fair treatment, accountability, and transparency in the marketplace. The idea of this concept is to empower consumers and protect every genuine business practices.
Other respondents interviewed highlighted some challenges consumers face, to include poor service delivery, lack of awareness, and exploitation. They attributed these seeming lapses to lack of political will on the part of the government, stressing that agencies like Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission (FCCPC) should brace up in their responsibilities to curtail sharp practices. They also advocated for stronger consumer protection laws and enforcement.
The Commission needs improvement in the area of manpower. There is need for evaluation and enforcement, considering a lot of exploitative practices you see every day on a daily basis. The Commission needs to encourage business to adopt fair protections. Also very important to strengthening the Commission protection framework.
When contacted, the South-South Zonal Coordinator of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, Chukwuma Uchebu, said the FCCPC plays a vital role in safeguarding consumer rights in Nigeria. He highlighted their key responsibilities to include protecting consumer rights, addressing consumer complaints, investigating grievances, and ensuring businesses adhere to fair practices, among others. He said FCCPC has been monitoring market practices, conducting investigations, and taking actions against anti-competitive behavior and consumer fraud.
As far as you are purchasing a good or you are paying for a service, otherwise than to resell it or use it for production of other things, you are a consumer. Either you are paying for a service in the hotel, you are paying a service in communication, you are paying for service in electricity industry. As far as you are a consumer, you are free to complain.
The zonal coordinator encouraged consumers who are not satisfied with services rendered to them to report to the Commission for prompt action. He also spoke on the theme of this year's celebration.
Because this law is the apex federal government law on consumer protection and competition. So it guarantees the safety and protection of every individual as far as you are seeking to get your right for a product you have bought or a service you bid for. You can lodge in your complaint directly to us at via south@fccpc.gov.ng.
As the global community pushes for fair and just consumer services, there is need for government agencies and stakeholders to refine consumer protection laws and policies. Ogboka Umeda, Rstv News.
Rivers State is the treasure base of the nation. Remember, you can watch our news live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at RSTVPH. You can also subscribe and click on the notification bell for updates on our live feeds. Ahead on the news, U.S. President Trump postpones military strikes on Iranian power plants for 5 days. These and more news stories after the break. Stay tuned.
Rstv Television, the treasured station.
From the creeks of the capital, we tell the stories.
My name is Gospel Anele, reporting for Rstv Television.
Areas of agriculture, education, infrastructure.
And the people who are concerned are actually calling for government intervention.
Stakeholders believe state police could alleviate the burden of federal police.
From Rivers State to the world, we keep you connected. Stories gathered, facts verified, truth delivered.
At Rstv, not only do we offer you authentic coverage, we offer the premium value, and our prices you can trust are fair and affordable.
Here in Rstv, our audience is our priority, our integrity, our pride.
Your stories told with truth and passion. That's Rstv Television. Stay with us.
Declaring the event open, and the six-month chairman Rivers State, Afe Ibanga, described gift to gain as a practical bargain. Chambers and mentors give training, platforms and legal know-how, and in return, women gain income, visibility, and stronger households. Ibanga cited local pilot sessions where WhatsApp-based marketing doubled orders for Rivers seamstresses and called for volunteers to escalate those clinics across local government areas.
As we celebrate International Women's Day 2026, we are reminded of a simple but powerful truth. When women are supported, empowered, and invest in one another, the impact is not just visible, it is transformational and far-reaching, which our theme this year is Give to Gain.
In a presentation, a personal financial coach, Tobore Olumoye, enumerated barriers to global visibility, limited internet access, and digital skills, lack of branding and packaging, payments and logistics challenges, as well as fear of technology or if not for me mindset, urging participants to use the social media to tell their stories instead of just using their phones for fun. Also in his presentation, former president of Port Harcourt Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture for SIMA, Emeka Onachukwu, who highlighted key areas of the team: give to gain, right justice, action for all women and girls. Noted that the celebration is 115 years, admonished women to amplify their voice, fight against stereotypes to gender equality, and support family-friendly policies for all.
It increases your gender value. So because as a client representative, my client can refer me to other clients. But if you have only sold to a woman and a crochet, when a woman in Kenya says, "Oh, send me a bag of your photo because you have pronounced it as Okoro," can the price be the same as Okoro?
I want you to speak against stereotype. It's very, very helpful, and you need to understand that all these things they say, these are functions of the woman, these are functions of the man. You know why it's working here? Because we have housewives.
Also speaking, FASIMA President Dr. Chinewuga said the event was to empower, enlighten and strengthen women in Niger Delta region, encouraging women to take advantage of the opportunity to grow their businesses. Speaking on legal compliance, Chairperson of Nigeria Bar Association, MBA Port Harcourt Branch, Cordelia Iwumo-Eke, enumerated that compliance is often viewed as a burden, complex regulations, endless documentation, and bureaucratic hurdles, challenging women to see it different, adding that legal compliance is not a barrier, rather it is a gateway.
Today, we need to sow the seed before the seed can begin to generate. So we're encouraging women to come out, giving also, not just in terms of money, give your time, give your talent, give your potentials, so that the more you give, the more the society grows. The more you give, the more you also gain.
Others who spoke, including the acting general manager of Rstv Television, Ambassador Paul Dandam, commended the organizers of the program and promised to liaise with the chambers in promoting women to better the society.
The women must make part of the media, because the media is a tool for. I don't know those we were thinking. Let's train the boy child because we will be. But now the reverse is the case, because we have seen that the women are the one that take care of us when we are old. And I'm not surprised in the legal profession, in the banking sector, even in political, very soon, the women will take over.
At the end of the program, 5 participants were given financial packages to support their businesses, while the chambers also embarked on a tour on exhibition stands. Melvin Jackson, Rstv News.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has asked state governors to intensify collaboration in tackling insecurity, pledging increased foreign support to strengthen Nigeria's security architecture. The president spoke when Vice President Kashim Shettima led governors on a traditional Eid al-Fitr homage to the president's residence in Lagos. President Tinubu expressed gratitude to God for the unity demonstrated during Ramadan, noting that Muslims commenced and concluded the fasting period together in the spirit of shared faith and national cohesion. He commended the governors for their continued support, stressing that the next phase of governance should focus squarely on addressing insecurity and restoring peace across the country. President Tinubu described insecurity as a major obstacle to development, progress and prosperity, urging all levels of government to remain resolute in confronting the challenge and pledge to strengthen Nigeria's international partnerships to secure modern equipment, intelligence support, and training required to combat terrorism. The federal government has approved the dualization of the Border-Bonny Road to link the East-West Road. Minister of Works Senator David Umahi disclosed this to newsmen during a tour of projects in the South-South at the weekend, stating that President Bola Tinubu had directed that the road from the border axis be expanded to connect with the East-West Road, a major transport artery in the region. Umahi further revealed that the president had also approved the installation of solar lights and tree planting along both sides of the 37.9-kilometer road linking Bonny Island to the mainland as part of beautification efforts. He added that the dualization would be executed using concrete and is expected to be completed within 8 months. At the Akpajo Bridge session of the East-West Road dualization, Umahi expressed satisfaction with the progress of work but urged the public to play an active role in protecting the infrastructure. He frowned at the movement of heavy trucks on the completed sections of the road, warning that such actions could compromise its durability. The Inspector General of Police, Olatunji Disu, has directed the reduction of tactical teams across police formations nationwide as part of efforts to teams at zonal and state command levels to a maximum of 5, while area commands and divisions are restricted to a maximum of 3 teams. First Public Relations Officer Anthony Plaxid, who disclosed this in a statement in Abuja, noted that the decision followed concerns over the proliferation of tactical units and alleged excesses by poorly supervised teams. According to him, the reduction can be achieved through the merging or disbandment of teams at the discretion of heads of formations. The police spokesperson explained that the move is expected to free up personnel for deployment to police stations and divisions, which have experienced manpower shortages due to increasing number of tactical teams. He added that the directive notes does not affect state government-created outfits such as the Lagos Rapid Response Squad, Oil Special Response Squad, and Biasa's Operation Do Akpo, as well as similar units across the country.